Yeah, they really need to stop making remakes like that.
Yeah.
No, it's annoying with that.
Anyways, hi guys, we're Pints and Pistons. We're
Well,
live.
we're
We
missing-
are short a man,
We're missing a beard.
and we have a short man.
Hi.
Yeah, one of the beards is gone, so it's,
And
you're just
three-
gonna have
and
to deal with my beard tonight.
3/4 of a man.
Huh?
3/4 of a man.
Yeah.
We're just missing parts all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys saw what I got to drive last weekend?
No.
Oh yeah, I'm
got-
still jealous with that because I should have gone out, but yeah.
I got to drive a 2020 GT500.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike's one.
Oh,
that
yeah?
He said that we could. Yeah.
Dude.
One of these times I gotta make it out to a Friday meet. I just want to go for a ride in it.
Well,
Because we had one on the dealership floor,
he's not
and they never let me ride in it.
Yeah, he's not up here very often, but he came up for Cars and Coffee. And when I'd seen him down at the Target meet, a couple weeks before, he did say, he's like, next time I'm up there, he's like, I'll let you go for a rip in it. I'm like, cool. And he did. And I just, like I said, I just thought that was just super cool of him to let me take it out. So, I've driven, I drove a 2020 10-speed with a supercharger on it, with the Ford Racing Roush, the Ford Racing supercharger kit and all that. That was Richards.
Yeah.
And that was one I didn't even bother with the flappy paddles because the 10-speed just rips through the gears so quick when you're in sport or track mode. I've driven a naturally aspirated with a 10-speed, and again, just don't even bother with the paddles. This one with the 7-speed Tremec, didn't even bother with the paddles. The reason why is because the car can flick the gears faster than I can register and flick the paddle.
Right.
It does have a nifty, neat trick though.
Yeah.
You want to pass somebody, you have it just in manual or sport mode or whatever.
Isn't it like you just hit the...
Pop the left paddle and floor it, and let off the paddle. It automatically drops down to just the right gear and runs like a rape date. It's
Really?
amazing. Driving that thing without traction control, not recommended.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I can imagine.
Because even with the traction control,
It was...
like I did the left paddle trick and I was like, damn.
How's the supercharger line on it? Crazy?
It's pronounced. Well, like I said, he's got an airbox, has a H-pipe, and it had a little bit of tuning on it. So it was probably 740, 760 wheel. I mean, this thing was rowdy, okay? From a dig on just regular street tires, regular road in Mexico, stepped off the brake and matted it. And you could feel it, everything started to happen. You could feel the tire sort of break loose, the back end came down, it squatted off to the right just a little bit, and that's when all the electronic nannies kicked in and brought it back into place. But it never once cut the power.
Right.
It just sort of slowed everything down and got it straightened out. Slammed up, hit second gear, it was like the shift happened, and then everything that just happened again.
Mm-hmm.
And then third gear happened. Everything that happened at the start happened again, and that was the point I let off when I was triple digit.
Right.
I mean, the thing is just...
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's the thing with
when
all the newer traction control, the stability
It's
control systems.
it's not like the crap in our cars.
Yeah,
Right.
to where it's
Our
just like...
stuff is... our stuff is, it's like, if you're going straight and you mat it, it'll spin the tires for a second, and then it'll just snap the throttle closed.
Yeah.
It cuts power.
Yeah.
Oh, you're spinning tires, cut power. The new stuff, it uses ABS.
Yeah.
It goes, oh, you can spin a little bit. I'm just going to keep you straight.
Yeah, I'm just keeping this stuff in
I'm just
check.
going to balance braking.
Yeah.
Use braking to balance the car and keep it going in a
They
straight
basically
line while
took
you
they
spin tires.
basically took the electronic nannies and taught it differential braking from the off-road world.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said, but here's the thing: it's like driving. Like once you get done doing all your jackassery, you let off, and the transmission goes tunk, 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 tunk,
And it's a
and you
normal
slow
car.
down and you just drive.
Right.
I did notice now they did limit the steering angle because it's square stance, like 315 section width tires all the way around.
Yep.
So it's square stance. It's a track weapon.
Yeah.
So when you're pulling into a parking spot, you definitely feel like I was backing the thing up and had to pull forward and back up again because I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, guys, I am full lock over here.
Right.
The clutch is sort of at slow speed when you're just starting to just roll out of it. It's not like herky jerky or anything like that, like the earlier DCTs used to be. It almost feels like a snowmobile or ATV clutch when it's sort of winding up centrifugally and then it starts to grab. It was really smooth.
Yep.
But the car, I mean, it's a heavy car and you can kind of feel its weight, but dude.
I have to ask
Yeah.
because I didn't drive a GT500, but I did get to drive a 2020 Shelby GT350. I have to ask, the brakes.
I didn't hammer on the brakes, but the GT500's got bigger brakes on it. And like I said, the GT500. I mean, the GT350 was a track weapon. The GT500 is more of a track weapon.
Right.
I mean, it is, and also too, you also figure out, it's just when you have that much brake and that much section width on the tire, the braking is. I mean, yeah, there's a little more mass to haul down, but I mean, there's just so much grip,
right,
and so much torque that can be applied through those brake rotors, and with the ABS and everything. It felt like, when I rolled into the brakes, it was just like,
the braking on the Shelby GT350, after I finished driving that car, the only thing I could use to describe it, the only word I could think of was telepathic.
Yeah.
You don't hit the brakes in that car. You think about braking and the car slows down.
Yeah, kinda.
Like it's like the SpongeBob meme on the gas, except on the brake. You just touch the brake pedal and it hauls that car to a stop almost instantly. That car was amazing. As far as like the feel of that car,
yeah,
that was incredible. So I can't imagine how much more the GT500 feels.
Yeah, the GT350 is the car that, again, I could putz it around the neighborhood, but I could never really explore the fun with that car.
Right.
Maybe if I just ran second gear through the first couple miles of Ozella Trail, like, the usual kind of through those S's there where the road's pretty nice.
Right.
I could probably get a feel for it ripping through there, but that's really all the more I'd be able to do with it. But no, the 7-speed Tremec, which I think is the same 7-speed sequential gear set and everything as the C8 Vet, just in a different housing.
I think so.
Yeah. But let's put it this way, if the C8, being mid-engine in the way it is anything like the GT500 with that transmission, holy crap.
Right.
I mean, it's not as refined as a PDK. Nothing is as refined as a PDK.
Right.
But it's really impressive. I would love to see that 7-speed in a GT350.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's super impressive car. I'm so glad I got to do it, and it was really cool of Mike to let me take his car out like that.
So I have some Ford news I wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear about the big theft?
Yes.
So,
No, I didn't.
in case nobody's heard about this yet,
1.5
Ford's storage lot.
$1.5 million of Broncos.
Oh, shit.
So they were storing them outside the manufacturing plant. $1.5 million worth of Broncos, Bronco Raptors, Badlands, all kinds of them got stolen out of the storage lot. And the plot thickens, because I read it today. I saw it on TikTok, actually, and I read into it. A guy out in Arizona bought a brand new, a showroom fresh Raptor Bronco off of Craigslist, $75,000, and he did all of his due diligence. He verified he had a clean title. Went to
VIN.
the DMV and verified the VIN and the title and everything, and everything was coming up clean. He bought the thing. 2 weeks later, decided, I think I'm going to trade this in on a truck. Went over to a dealership and said, hey, I want to trade this in. They found the VIN discrepancy because the VIN had been swapped out of one of those stolen cars. And
Dude's, bro's out $75,000.
out $75,000 because the cops came and seized the truck.
Damn.
Because the salesman caught the VIN discrepancy. I don't know how, they didn't say exactly, but I'm guessing he looked at the sticker and went, that sticker don't look right. Why is this coming up as this color and it's not that color? What's going on here?
Yeah, but like I said, the Arizona DMV and everything else that he went through, like title checks and the whole 9 yards, all came up clean.
Yep. He did all his due diligence ahead of time and still lost.
Damn.
I have some Nissan news.
Well, hold on. How did they steal them out of the lot?
It's the storage lot outside
Yeah.
the manufacturing facility. You ever seen those storage
Yeah.
lots?
They're just wide
They're
open.
monstrous. They're big.
The same way they steal brand new Hellcats and Chargers and everything else off the lots at Chrysler.
So they just came there and drove them off, or did they haul
Yep.
them off on trucks, or?
No, because those vehicles sitting in the storage lots have the freaking keys in them.
Oh, they didn't. Okay,
They gotta keep the keys with the vehicles.
yeah.
Yeah, they have I'm sure they've probably got an armed security guard that walks around the perimeter once every hour or so. But it's
And
a
even
big
if he
open
did,
field.
and even if putting myself into the position of one guy walking around a field looking at these cars. If I saw a group of 10 or 15 guys coming in there, I'd be like, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit.
Right.
Have a good night, guys. Like, yeah, I didn't see anything. I was over on that corner about that time.
I'm calling the cops.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh damn.
Hey, I'm over at the storage lot. I'm getting robbed.
Hey,
Can you come over?
yeah, we got a problem here. No, I'm not doing anything. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I make $35,000 a year. I'm not stopping 15 dudes that have probably got guns on them.
Yeah, I'll be waiting at the gate for you. You know, I'll see you in a few minutes.
They're back there.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few minutes later. That's me.
Right.
So I have some Nissan news.
Yeah?
2 years from now, the roads are going to start to get a little bit safer.
Oh, yeah?
Are they
Are
stopping
they
Altima?
discontinuing the Altima?
The
Really?
The Altima is going to be phased out.
Wow.
Does that mean everybody's going to move to Maximus?
The Maxima's already dead.
Does that mean everybody's going to move to a Rogue?
But what will the
Rogue or a Kicks?
But only independent women buy
Sentras.
so that their boyfriends can drive them around while they're at work?
Sentras.
I guess so. Rogues.
Or Kicks.
It's going to be a Rogue. That's going to be the new Altima. Because there's already a Facebook page called, of course, it's a fucking Nissan Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be the new Altima.
It's going to have to be.
God damn it.
Always leave the insane motorist alone.
God damn it.
I'm kind of sad about that,
Now,
to be honest.
okay, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Man, I can't believe you guys let me down like that. Our Altima, it's got 130,000 miles on it. The only repairs we've done to it has been a battery terminal and rear bearing hubs.
Mhm.
One was going south, went in and replaced the other one at the same time just because, and everything else has just been normal consumables.
Listen.
I mean, as far as a four-wheeled appliance to move you about, it's done exactly what it's supposed to do.
Okay, everybody rips on the
both
Altima.
My mom's went to over 200,000 miles.
People rip on Nissan, they rip on the Altima. First off, the only, like, problem Nissan has ever really had is they kind of have crappy interiors.
Yeah.
Their interior
hard
plastic. Well, it's plastic,
and then
but it's a
falls apart.
soft plastic. Yeah. Like their console lids and stuff, just from you touching them, get all scratched up and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mechanically,
anything
Nissan they make great engines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything with piano black finish on the interior of a car is fucking stupid.
Right, but they make great engines.
Yeah, that little four-banger
They
in
make
there.
transmissions.
Well, they used to make transmissions.
Some of their cars still have transmissions.
The Altima does not.
The Altima, everything car-based has a CVT. But I want you to think about, like...
Yeah, all the Muranos and all this stuff, all CVTs as well.
What I want you to pay attention to is Nissan Frontiers.
They look awesome.
Here's why.
The new one?
Well, the new one looks fantastic, first off. I actually really like the new Nissan Frontier.
They went, like, straight on
But
body style.
I want you to look at the old ones from now on. Anytime you're driving around, you will see Nissan Frontiers.
Like the early 2000s?
Yeah. Well, even before, even the last generation. You're looking at them and you're seeing these trucks drive down the road, and they've got, a coat hanger holding the exhaust up. One of the doors is all bashed in, just like a Nissan Altima. But they still run.
Mm-hmm.
They still drive.
They still work.
They still work.
Yeah.
These trucks, those were the disposable mid-sized truck. And those things last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite Hilux legend, but
close.
Close, yes.
Without the horrible, without the extreme resale markup.
Yes.
Right. But Nissan Frontiers are abused every day in this country. And they take the abuse and they keep going. So Nissan makes good vehicles.
Yeah.
As far as, mechanically speaking. They make great cars.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gives them a bad rap because they see the Nissan Altimas with one spare tire on it, doing 90 down the highway, weaving in and out of traffic. But realistically,
and also too, like I said,
they build cars that hold up to that abuse.
And
so
it's just like the Mustang thing. It's just like the internet hates the Mustang because some jackasses that drive Mustangs do jackass things in their Mustangs.
Right.
But then there was that thing a few years ago down in Tampa, right on Bayshore Drive, where idiot number 1 in a Mustang and idiot number 2 in an Altima decided to race and ended up killing a little girl, and that was just a complete.
Yeah.
That was just like moron squared or moron cubed or
That's more onto the power of 2.
That was more on something. So yeah, that was like,
How's the chat going?
yeah, you don't even have a
I
chat.
don't even have it open. My bad. Mike, good seeing you tonight. Sorry we didn't see the chat. I didn't have it open. That's my bad.
That's why I wanted to ask it, because I know you.
Huh?
I said, that's why I wanted to ask, because I know Chris always forgets to chat.
I always forget the chat. I'm bad about that.
Bad, Chris.
But yeah, I mean, Nissan makes fantastic cars,
Yeah.
and if I were buying a brand new truck right now,
That Frontier is really
I
nice.
would really. I actually have
you
looked
seen
because
the
I've
new
looked at
ones?
all
Yes.
3.
They're really,
Yeah.
really nice looking.
I've looked at all 3 because the Toyota's out of the price range.
No.
The
Yeah.
Toyota is the most expensive and least refined.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people get away with putting such a markup on them that has the
Dude,
smallest
there's-
amount of power, the lowest towing capacity, the smallest interior cargo room.
There's
Because
currently...
so many people still have an absolute belief, like true believer kind of belief. You're never going to change these people's minds that Toyota's reliability is above question.
Yeah.
So you've got people who
Right.
You've got people now who are buying these trucks who maybe when they were a kid, their dad or their uncle or their grandpa was the guy that went from an American vehicle and finally bought a Toyota and Japanese car, and that thing lasted and, like
Right.
top gear level of Hilux
Yeah.
abuse and kept on going, stuck with a memory in them, and now they're looking around like, you know what, I'm going to get a Toyota because it'll last
Yeah.
forever. It's more expensive, but it'll last forever.
See, I gotta say, they the Toyota local Toyota dealership, they have a '02 4-door that has 195,000 miles that got traded in. They have it listed for $17,000.
Right.
$17,000.
Like that's
Like, are you
that's
fucking kidding
240
me?
tax level.
Like,
of
are you
markup.
fucking kidding me?
I can't.
$17,000.
And I do-
It
I
has
like the
190
trucks.
something thousand miles on it.
Like, I like the Toyota Tacoma. I really do. It's a nice looking truck. I just can't, not for the price.
Yeah, no.
Right.
You know,
But-
that's you're talking Lariat F-150 money
Mhm.
for a mid-sized truck.
No.
Yeah.
No,
and-
absolutely.
Well,
not.
and now, honestly, that's the problem with the Ranger.
hmm
You look at the prices of Rangers. The Rangers aren't that much smaller
A
than
fully loaded Ranger is $46,000.
yeah.
I can buy an equally equipped F-150 for that money.
with
because
a,
the
with
fully
a,
loaded
with a
F-
5-liter.
A fully loaded Ranger is a Lariat trim.
Yeah.
The
Mid.
the XLT trim on an F-150 comes with the same equipment,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can get a 5-liter.
and you can get the 5-liter in it.
Yeah.
I like the Ranger too. Like, I actually really fell in love with the Ranger when I
Mhm.
was working for Ford. I just can't justify the prices.
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
And
No,
their
and-
resale value is really high on those for some reason.
Well,
Yeah.
and like I said, and for me personally, because I don't have crotch columns to haul around. For me, the ideal Ranger was sold in Australia and New Zealand.
Single cab.
Single cab.
Single cab, and the single cab sat a lot lower.
And Ford, if you're listening,
They're not.
a diesel single cab, manual transmission,
Short bed.
short bed Ranger for $22,000. I
Here's-
feel like that would sell like
Well, and
crazy.
see, and that's why I really like the Maverick. That's why I love the Maverick, of the fact of it's what the Ranger should be, and
Oh, the Ranger should be the Ranger, the two-door
Yeah,
standard cab
well,
Ranger
I mean,
that's sold
but
in
still,
Australia and New
even though it's-
Zealand.
even though it's still a 4-door, just the fact it's a small truck capable of I mean, you're not pulling on the world
Yeah.
with it, but you're capable of doing your normal weekend or normal long hair
The
job.
problem,
and
yeah,
all
but the problem
that.
with the Ranger is now Ford has gone so far as to offering people who have been waiting on their hybrids for 300 to 600 days. Now they're offering them $2,700 credit on the price, which is funny because they raised the price $3,000.
Mhm.
right.
So I mean,
See,
it's
and
like,
I was about to jump in and be like, see, the problem with the Maverick is that you can't have one.
yeah,
Especially, you can't have what they promised.
Yeah.
They
I
promised
don't
me-
want the. I don't want the.
They promised me a
Hybrid.
$20,000 truck.
Yeah.
nope.
And what you can't have is the $20,000 truck that they promised.
Yeah.
If you want a Maverick, you're paying $35,000
Mhm.
for it. And at that point, the Ranger is cheaper.
Yeah.
Because the Ranger is sitting on the lot gathering dust, and the Maverick, they won't build enough of.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They also, I am glad that they swapped things around with the Maverick, and they said the base model's the 2-liter turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the hybrid, because
Yeah.
that was one of my holdbacks was, I don't want the hybrid.
Yeah.
I don't like the hybrid systems, and I don't want one.
No. I want my motor.
I want
out
it
of
to be
my
either
car.
an EV or an electric or a gas-powered car. Don't try
Yeah.
to combine them.
It's like, no, I want the motor out
Because
of my
now
car.
I get the problems of both.
Yes.
That I
If the
know
engine
this thing
fucks
can
up,
go-
you gotta fix the engine. If the EV system fucks up, you gotta fix that.
If the EV system fucks up, you mechanically total the car.
Yes.
It's like, no, I want the engine that I know goes pop, pop, bang, bang, makes power. I want that. I want that one.
But I want the all-wheel drive version.
Oh, true. But still, I want the pop, pop, bang, bang.
And I want the turbo. And I want the turbo off the Lincoln Corsair.
2-liter turbo,
All-wheel drive.
all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual. Fun.
Last time I did a configurator, you couldn't even select a 6-speed manual anymore.
Nope, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the U.S., the take rates on manual transmission cars are excruciatingly low. However, apparently on all the orders for the new Mustang, horrible thing that it is, apparently the take rate on the manual take rate on those is like over 50%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Well, it's because it's an enthusiast car. They built
Yeah.
an enthusiast car. To be honest, if I were buying
They
a
built an
Maverick,
enthusiast drivetrain and wrapped it around something to attract screen kiddies.
if I were buying
But they don't
a Maverick,
understand
I
that-
probably would get an automatic because it's not a sports car.
Yeah.
I'm buying that for comfort.
Yeah, no, I'd still probably get it manual. But no, it's like same
I'm
thing.
getting
If I got a
Well,
if
you
I
would-
got a big Bronco, I'd try to find one with a manual on it.
Well, you would have to get one with a manual, and that way I can drive it around the neighborhood.
Yeah, like I want one with a manual. I just want.
Oh yeah, like I
manual.
said, I mean, even at my age now, like, if I still had 2 legs, I would still be driving manuals.
Yeah.
I could go with automatic for certain things, but I would definitely still be preferring the manual just because that's what I learned to drive on.
Yeah.
For like truck stuff,
Yeah,
I want an automatic.
I'm gonna get the beer.
Okay.
Like if I'm getting a truck, I want an automatic.
Yeah,
Because a truck isn't, it's not a performance vehicle. It's for utility. And
Yeah.
automatic makes that easier. Towing a trailer with
yes,
a manual.
definitely. Yeah,
Towing a trailer with a manual is a pain in the ass.
it is. It is.
Off-roading is easier with an automatic. I know a lot of guys go after a manual transmission for an off-road vehicle because of the reliability. But having the ability to, roll on and off the throttle, climbing up a rock
Yeah.
is easier to do without having to deal with a clutch. Because you're going to burn up the clutch a lot more.
You're true. It is right.
So the Bronco, I would want it an automatic.
I've driven the 4-cylinder one. I drove Angels.
The Bronco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The road manners are surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, it has legitimately good road manners.
Right.
Because
Because
but
it's got
her-
independent front suspension, unlike the Jeep.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, it didn't have the larger wheels on it like a Sasquatch, and it was, like I said, it's a 4-door. So, like I said, not particularly fast out of the hole or anything like that. I mean, you can feel the engine's got torque and you can feel all that stuff going on, but like I said, but the road manners of it are actually quite nice.
Right.
I really want to drive one off road.
If I could buy a Bronco for the advertised price, I would get a base model Bronco.
Yeah.
Just get a base, just a regular base stripper model. Just give me a Bluetooth radio and a basic cluster, and I'm happy. That's not a vehicle I want to get real fancy with.
Now, the cool thing is you can use stuff like ForceScan, and you can actually get into the car's CAN bus, and you can take components from the higher trim level cars, throw them in there, and make that shit work. Like, there are people that have taken stuff that was not an option on the Maverick,
And
taken them out of escapes and stuff like that, and ForceScan escape stuff like cruise control.
Yep.
At first wasn't an option for the Maverick. People have figured out how to take their cruise control out of an escape and ForceScan that in through CAN bus.
You know what's weird? Do you know what's actually we're talking Ford a lot tonight. You know what's grown on me recently? Bronco Sport.
Yeah.
It's
It's a-
grown on
it's a
me.
better-
I didn't like it that much when it first came out.
It's a better Ford Escape than the Ford Escape.
Right.
I saw a test where they took one.
It's a Ford Escape with an OtterBox on it.
I saw one. I saw where one of the magazines had taken one out to Moab, and a all-wheel drive version of one took it out to Moab, and it it did really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was respected because I mean the thing's got really short approach and departure angles.
Yep.
The breakover angles aren't going to be that great, but I mean they put it through its paces out off the road and climbing some of those hills and stuff out there, and it actually did surprisingly well.
Well, like here's what I mean when I say that it's really grown on me.
Here you go.
So it is not an off-road vehicle.
No, not in the least.
It's not an off-road vehicle. What it is a
It's
a gravel road capable vehicle.
the
Bronco Sport.
Oh yeah.
It's a commuter cute ute with personality.
Right.
No. Oh, my favorite is this Escape with an Autobox on it.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
All right, guys.
Don't know what we got. I'm just pouring it.
Well, I have had this one at the pub, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I almost got this the last time I got a beer from Bonehook, but I figured I just had it. But then it was up there again, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And so this is their Island Breeze Coconut Lime Lager.
Let me show the camera. Light on it.
And I figure, with this still hot, still humid, post-hurricane weather.
Love the artwork on it.
Oh, yeah.
This is a coconut lime lager.
Yeah.
We took a super easy drinking lager, add lime, add coconut, tastes awesome.
So I smell the lime right off the hit.
Oh, yeah, like I said, it's there.
Yeah, it's got a lime smell to it for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely smell the lime. I don't smell the coconut yet.
I am very excited to try this, because this looks delicious.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Slight hint of coconut. The finish is coconut.
Yeah, it's on the back end.
But very light.
Yeah, it's on the back end.
It's lime heavy front, coconut finish.
Yep.
And then the lime sort of hangs out a bit, but not
Yeah.
like super tart.
But it's not like a lime. It's almost like a key lime.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
And then
Yeah.
that
Like,
coconut,
it's not-
that coconut almost has like a meringue
Kind of.
feel to it.
Like, I thought that was going to hit way harder.
Because
That's good.
like I said, because when you pour it, you smell it, and then as you're bringing it up, I mean, the nose on it is like right there, so you are expecting a bigger hit, but it's not.
I like that, though. And
Oh, yeah.
you're absolutely right. Hot, humid day, that is a super refreshing.
Yeah, like I
And
said,
it's only a 4.2.
yeah, like I said, so I mean, you can pretty much, this is a good, just sort of waste the afternoon away with a few of
Oh,
these, and
absolutely.
you're just, it's not heavy, it's not overly carbonated.
Mike brought something up. So with the trucks, like the Super Duties that are crew cab short bed Super Duties,
That are so goddamn tall you can't put anything in the back of the bed.
it's a 4.5 foot bed. What are you going to put in there anyways? The fact that
Sure.
you pull up next to it in a early 90s Toyota Tacoma single cab short bed, and that box is the same size.
Yeah.
That little tiny 4-cylinder truck can fit the same size stuff in its bed. And I know those old trucks, you could put just as much weight in them too.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna
You'd be,
go
riding,
slow.
you'd be riding on the axle, but it didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, you'd basically look like a squatted truck going down the road with all the cargo, but yeah, those... And that was another thing. Those little trucks back then, they were just all of those small trucks back then. S10, the GMC, the S10, the Sonoma,
Ranger.
the Ranger, the Mazdas, the Mitsubishi Mighty Maxes, the D50 Rams. All of those trucks were abused so badly.
But
And
they were
because
tough
they-
as nails.
But that was the thing, because they were so cheap to buy.
Uh-huh.
People who used them for work used them
Yep.
for work. They overloaded them.
Mm-hmm.
Shit maintenance on them, and all of those small trucks from back then just kept. They looked like hell.
But
They
they
looked
kept on
rough.
going.
They looked rough, but they just kept working.
It was one of those.
You
that
remember
a
the
lot
Demon
of-
S10?
Yeah.
Like a lot of companies would be like, hey, we'll get this in a couple of years, we'll replace it, buy another one, they're cheap enough, But then you look, and they have the same fucking Ranger, like, on the road for the last 25 years, and it's like,
still-
because it's still fucking going.
It just keeps working. It just keeps doing what it's doing.
Yeah.
And like I said, honestly, I don't think any of the trucks built today will do that.
No, none of the trucks built today will hold up the way those old trucks did.
I mean,
Look at my 95.
well,
I
you
mean,
saw Taylor Ray's Ford experience.
uh-uh.
So, he built the Fummins,
Okay.
his Cummins-powered F-350. Used that to tow his race hauler and stuff for a while. But then he's like,
he got a really cool bus.
He's like, I need a new truck, reliable, plenty of power, pull the trailer, so I'm not broken down on the side of the road. So he got a fairly new F-350.
Mm-hmm.
CB4 pump shit the bed on and left him stranded in Tennessee.
Yep.
And luckily a viewer loaned him his Dodge truck to get his race hauler and stuff back to Florida, and they ended up selling the truck to the dealer, and then he bought a Ram Mega Cab.
Yep.
Not as powerful, but it's a Cummins. It's just going to work.
Yep.
But yeah, he ended up selling the race hauler, and now he has a big ass race bus.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Have you seen the bus?
No.
Oh god, so it's a big
Eagle.
old
It's an Eagle. It's a 1989 Eagle.
So like the big
V20.
city buses, like
Oh, okay.
coaches.
Originally
huge.
purchased by New Jersey Transit.
So
Okay.
the massive.
So the front half is house with a slide out.
Mm-hmm.
Back half garage.
Literally, the whole back
Love
drops
it.
down, and it's got a
Ramp up.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
It's got
so
a lift gate, and the whole 9 yards. It's freaking cool.
yeah, and I think it's got a Detroit diesel in it too.
Yeah.
So it makes
Best
all
engines.
makes the best sounds.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, it's freaking cool.
Diamond plate floor, I think, is
Yeah,
what it was.
it's freaking cool. But yeah, like I said, I mean, all these new trucks, and especially with how complicated everything has gotten, and all the crap, especially the diesels, all the crap they have to put on them with DEF and everything else, those trucks just aren't going to last.
Yeah. The diesels ain't gonna last like diesels should last.
Well, okay.
Now there's
You
what
can make those trucks last.
Oh yeah.
you void your
If
warranty doing it.
But you void your warranty and make it impossible to drive in some states.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a fix for the fuel pump on the because when the fuel pump fails, it comes apart and just sends debris, just trashes the entire fuel system.
Yep.
There's a kit out there to catch that debris before it ruins the rest of the fuel system, but avoids your warranty.
Right.
You can backdate, and I know with the GMC and Chevy trucks, you can backdate to the older style pump that doesn't break, but you void your warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's so. But yeah, all that stuff, and just that. But honestly, that's not restricted to the trucks. That's just cars in general.
Yeah.
Like all these cars with all the screens and all this other stuff's going on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look what's happening. I mean,
Especially with my biggest thing with that is especially with the instrument cluster, because it's gonna be one of those like 20 years down the line that goes. They're not analog. Like it's you're fucked. Like you gotta replace.
well, and when
them.
those fail, okay, so like the Fox body, right? If your speedometer goes bad,
it's a cable.
just
or
the
little
speedometer
gear.
fails, right? Or like one of the gauges fails.
Yeah.
you can
All
pop,
your others are
You
fine.
can pop that out and change just
Yeah.
that gauge
Yeah.
out, right?
like
But all the rest of the gauges still work. So, oh no, my oil pressure gauge stopped working. I could fix that, but I mean, I don't need it to
but
drive.
it doesn't fuck
When that
everything
LCD
else up.
goes, it turns into a
Everything,
slate
yeah.
of black,
everything is dead.
which means you can't drive the car anymore because none of your indicators work. You don't have speed. You don't have turn signals. You don't.
I saw a
And
video.
a lot of it is tied together.
Yeah.
Okay. So when that screen fails, your turn signals don't work
Yeah.
outside the car.
So
but
speaking,
then like center console, like the center stuff, like a lot of it is now controlled. Like your AC and all that is controlled on that. Like a lot of cars don't have physical buttons for that.
yes,
Right.
That goes. Now I don't have AC. I can't use my defroster. I can't, unlock the fucking car.
The worst engineering choice I have seen in a car is the 2023 Sportage. You have a little strip, okay, and it's got a knob. It's got a physical knob on it, but it's a capacitive touchscreen all the way across. And it's got a GPS arrow and a fan on it. And one lights up when you touch it, okay? It swaps it between the volume and tuning controls of the radio and the HVAC controls.
that's retarded.
It's awful because you have to program it to be on one or the other. So you're sitting there, you listen to the radio. I don't want to listen. God damn, I turned the damn AC off again. Don't combine that shit.
So I saw a video today. Have any of you guys seen the Ford Tech Make You Loco channel?
I think so.
Ford independent Ford mechanic up in Chicagoland area.
It sounds familiar.
Saw a video from him today of a 2016 F-150 taillight, got water in it. Wiped out the Bliss, the blind spot monitoring system, because there's sensors back there.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused the HVAC controls to not do anything, and the radio to not do anything. because it got water in the light, corroded out the plug,
And shorted.
and took down a bunch of like the medium speed CAN bus controls,
Yes.
which included HVAC and radio
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. And he was basically thinking that, that cluster has a known fault. There's an updated part to replace that. So he was going through that. But then when he decided to go, okay, he knows the taillights have water in them, stuff like that. That's when he found. So the taillights were $1,400 each.
Mm-hmm.
The sensors were $450 to $500 each.
Mm-hmm.
The new harness to go across the back of the bed to plug everything in, non-corroded stuff, was about $90-something, plus the diag time and everything else. This poor fucker ended up with a repair bill of $5,600
For a cracked tail light.
for a leaking taillight, or for 2 leaking taillights.
Right.
Because it had to replace 2 taillights,
Where
2
in
sensors.
the Fox or the F-150, that's a $3 bulb.
Right. Oh no,
Or-
water got into my tail light? Oh no. I'll
or
get in there
my
with
favorite-
some cleaner and clean that contact off real quick
Or
and put the
my
bulb back in
favorite,
it and be done.
The fishbowl.
Yes, your fishbowl.
My high beam on the 86 that literally had water halfway up. The bulb was underwater,
But
and the
it still
high
worked.
beam
No, no,
still
no.
fucking worked.
That was a sealed headlight.
Yeah.
So it didn't have a bulb inside of it, it just had the filaments
Well,
inside
yeah,
of
the
it.
filament was still burning.
It was still burning with water in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still worked.
The
Yes.
the
Still
illuminated
fucking worked.
the illuminated fishbowl.
Like, what the hell?
And the funny thing was, when we first redid all of the headlight adjusters and stuff over at my house and almost got attacked by the Black Widow and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
other crappy shit that came out of the buff behind those headlights, including
Rubber hoses.
fucking
and-
rubber hoses and zip ties and all kinds of weird shit to hold it all together. That headlight only had just a little few drops of condensation in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over.
And we tapped it and yeah, it's fine.
tapped it and it fell down. Like, all right, hit the high beam.
It
Fuck it, still
we're
works.
fine.
We're good. But yeah, that thing ended up being a fucking fishbowl,
Yeah.
and it still lit up.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
So
I work on these cars every day, and I see stuff that's just shocking.
yeah, you just look at it and go, what the fuck were you thinking? Why?
The
Why would you do that?
One of the biggest problems we have in the industry now, you brought up CAN bus. That's the problem. Okay. So here's a good example.
Well,
You've got a car that's got all the driver assists on it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You've got blind spot monitoring, forward collision, lane keep assist, smart cruise control,
Sure,
right?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what happens when one ABS wheel speed sensor goes bad?
All of it goes
fucks
nuts.
All that shit.
All of it stops working.
Yeah.
You will hit scan, and it'll pull 30 codes. CAN bus communication, CAN bus communication, CAN bus communication. Just 30 of them. Of all those different systems going, I can't talk to that one sensor. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused. I don't have one sensor reading correctly, so I'm done. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna head out now.
I quit.
Okay. One wheel speed sensor will light your whole dash up because all of the systems are dependent on it.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking stupid.
And the company I work for can't make wheel speed sensors, so I see it all the time. But the other problem is, all right, one connector has a little bit of a pin tension issue on one of the CAN lines. There's 15 miles of wire in that car.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Right. No, have fun. Because you've got 3 CAN codes now. None of them refer to anything about that connector. They just tell you, the multifunction camera's not working and the front radar's not working. Something's wrong. We don't know what.
Yeah.
It's in the wiring. Good. Good. There's 15 miles of wire in this car. I'm going to have fun today.
Yay, me!
That's
Yeah.
the car that ends up in the burn pit out in the backyard.
Right.
Sorry, must have shorted out somewhere.
That's the car that, oh man, my boat ended up going into the water with the car in salt water. No.
I've seen a couple of cars around Crystal River already that I'm pretty sure were insurance jobs.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that was kind of obvious. It was right there off of Citrus Avenue, in the ditch, water up to the windows, and I went, oh.
Someone wanted out of a car
You
payment.
wanted out of that car payment, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So, we had a topic or two.
Yeah,
to
we had a
play with.
topic, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just kinda got off
actually-
on a tangent.
Yeah, but we actually had really good tangents, though.
So,
we actually had really
speaking
good
of,
tangents.
we'll go into our main topic then, talking about flood cars and insurance
Yeah.
and whatnot.
So Mike came up with the idea of what's the best car to have in the water.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
I'll go last.
not necessarily, you know, like a boat car, but
if
like,
you were in a flooded area, what would be the best car to have?
Exactly.
Like, you know the roads are going to be flooded. Maybe, you know, like here in Crystal River, the
Well,
roads get 3 or
that
4
kinda-
foot of water.
Well, this
on
was
them.
basically just what's the best car to take in the water, and then that evolved into what's the best car to have for a storm, and I was like, why don't we just do both?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what we got. So first up, we'll do the water car, the
All
best
right,
car to
okay.
have in the water. I'll
So-
go last.
So let's do Mike's cars first.
Okay.
Because I feel
we'll
like
do,
you nailed it.
we'll do my first one and all that. So.
Well, I'll set them up on a...
Okay. Yeah. So I'll do
So here's
my
Mike's
first
one.
one.
So you'll do your whatever car
Yeah.
pops up.
So the best car to have. Oh, can you pause it? Can you?
I
Pause?
can't, unfortunately.
You can't pause it. No.
Let me see... Let me see if I can pause it. Properties.
Slide mode automatic.
Manual. Okay, how do I... What are the
I don't know.
hotkeys?
Well, we'll figure that out. Anyway, so right there, that is the best car for water. It is the hover van from Top Gear. I mean, because it's great. It's a transit van. You have plenty of room. All that stuff.
You had plenty of room.
You can sit 3 abreast. Okay.
You said breast.
Exactly. You can fit 3 people on a breast, and it's the best thing. It's a van and it hovers. I mean, come on, and it's really loud.
Yes.
You're gonna be one of the yee boys.
Yes.
And that you're gonna fit right in Citrus County, being an airboat, making all the noise.
You're not wrong.
And you know what the other great thing is? You can cross the road in it too.
You're not. Well, this is Citrus County. You can do that in an airboat.
But
I've seen it
still-
happen. I've seen it
But
happen.
still, you can cross the road and then you can drive where you're going, deflate all the stuff, boom, keep on going. Then all of a sudden, hey, there's water. Inflate, there you go. Water stops, deflate, drive off. Come on.
Your
Come
arguments
on.
are solid.
I
Your,
know.
your arguments
I
are solid.
know.
Your arguments are solid.
I mean, you
I
might
figured it out.
you might end up going, in circles for a lot of it. And
So, what are your thoughts on the Top Gear hover van?
I mean, if you're in a flooded area, it's perfect.
exactly.
Until you stall the engine and drown.
There's always that drawback.
But I mean, and what you do is like you said, you drive around in circles until the engine stalls, then you drown.
Exactly.
Perfect.
But you're gonna look cool doing it.
You make a lot of noise. Definitely won't go unnoticed.
No,
for sure.
you won't. So you'll be rescued.
Yes,
You'll be rescued,
maybe.
possibly.
Because the rescuers would probably look at that and go, "Nah, they chose this."
I'm surprised
Right.
we didn't see that in Oklahoma during the hurricane.
You're not wrong there either. But yeah, that's
I'm
probably
really
that's where the
surprised with
rescuer
that.
looks at that and goes, "Nah, they chose that shit. Have
Yeah.
fun, guys."
Right.
Yeah. And
The
then-
rescuers would institute Top Gear rules.
True, they would. They would. And then my next one is for, what is the best car to drive through a storm? The Hilux. The reason the Hilux? I mean, come on.
That's true. Yeah, Hilux is a solid choice.
You cannot kill it. We've seen it go through the water.
Yes,
Salt water, too.
yes, that did.
And it survived.
Dropped off a
Dropped building.
Right.
Hit with a wrecking ball.
If a
You-
tree falls on it, it'll be fine.
Fine,
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can go through flooded areas. You can get hit with flying debris. You can push things out of your way. You'll be fine.
Yep.
All you need is a screwdriver and a crescent
What's
and a
see,
crescent.
what's Mike have to say about this so
crescent
far?
wrench, and you can fix it. That's it. It's great.
An old VW Bug.
Solid choice. I mean,
solid
and
choice.
it's basically the same thing. A screwdriver Well, 2 flathead and a Phillips, and a crescent wrench.
Pair of vice grips.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're good. You're good.
You need to change the motor on the side of the road, you can do that with, a screwdriver, 2 screwdrivers and a pair of vice grips.
Exactly. I mean, come on. It's.
I mean, you are correct. That would be a great vehicle.
It would. It would.
Chris, you want to show us your
Sure.
your water car and
Also,
your
I'm gonna grab a beer really quick.
yeah, your water car and your storm car.
Alright, so, my storm car, my choice was the only answer, which is the Crown Victoria, the P-71 Interceptor.
Kind of thinking that should have been both your choice.
It's not high enough to be a floodwater car unless you modify it and put it on dubs, put it on some big 24s with the lifted suspension, then it's fine. Make a donk out of it and you could drive through floodwater.
It wouldn't really be a donk, and it wouldn't really be a square. I think it would be more like a bubble.
Right.
I think that would kind of fall like.
But it's a donk. If it's got the big donk wheels on it, it's a donk.
Because like I said, if you're talking like square body Caprices, those aren't donks, those are squares. The earlier rounded Caprices were the donks. I think like the square body cars are called squares, and I think something like that era Caprice and maybe that too would end up being called a bubble.
But, doing it, the big lifted with the 28s on it, 30-inch wheels, you could drive through some floodwater. But for me, I feel that's the storm car, because you can put the push bar on it, you can push trees out of the way. That car is not going to leave you stranded on the side of the road.
County that have
lifted
the
Crown
lifted Crown Vics with the 28s on, not 28-inch wheels, but the actual
Mud tires.
tires, all that stuff.
But
and exoskeletons too. We've seen that one that
but
drives
I mean,
around.
That's a car that's reliable. It's got lots of cargo space. You're going to be able to drive around after a storm in that. No problem.
You can haul 5 of your friends.
Right in the trunk.
Yeah, in the trunk. 5 more in the trunk.
But you got space in the trunk. You can keep your chainsaws and your winches and stuff like that. You're going to be able to get around in that, no problem. And that's a nice, reliable vehicle. It's fuel efficient enough. You fill up the tank. You've got a good distance you can drive.
And that's the thing. It has a giant tank, and then also those things do get decent gas mileage.
Right, you can get 20 miles to the gallon with a car like that.
Yep.
So that was my choice for the storm car. Plus, the added bonus is, the people respect that car. It's got an air of authority to it. You're driving around in that. The other cops are seeing that, going, it's another officer. Leave him alone. Don't bug him. Nobody interrupt him. He's on serious business.
It's been off the road.
But he's on serious business. Leave him alone.
Or they think you're a meth dealer.
Yeah.
Right. So my other car now, my flood car.
And sometimes even the method was like, just leave that one alone.
Yeah. I chose this car because with the proper accessory equipment on this vehicle, you drown before this car does. And this was specifically done
by Cletus.
No, because this was specifically built for the military as a military vehicle. And one of the specs was it had to be able to wade 6 foot of water.
Yeah.
Cletus did drive his underwater though.
He drove his underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a snorkel still above the water,
exactly.
and it worked.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I
the
know
H1
exactly what
Hummer.
you're talking about. Yep.
The original Hummer, even the civilian version, as you can see in this picture, has a snorkel on it that is above the driver's head.
Yeah.
So you stop breathing before the car does. And if you can stop, if that can wade that much water...
And we've seen it be done before.
Listen, there's very few flooded roads you're not going to be able to access.
That's true. That's true.
That road's going to have a lot of water on it.
And that's a good one, also because of the ground clearance, because of the
portal axles
and all that. Right. You don't have you seriously have a really good amount of ground clearance underneath it.
Correct.
You can
but
go
ingress and egress, even for me, those things are so easy to get in and out of compared to any.
Well, and it's also your initial.
Approach and departure.
Both
approach and even the breakover angles.
Yeah.
Now, if you buy the military version of it,
you can literally go.
You can buy the multi-fuel version of it.
That will run off of kerosene.
It'll run on diesel, kerosene, vegetable oil, jet fuel. If it's flammable and you can put it in the tank, it'll make it run.
Yeah.
Which is also why I like yours, because I saw what yours was, and I that was gonna be my pick, and that's why I didn't pick it.
So that was my choice, and I feel like I made
my
good
wet
choices.
water car, my regular, not my storm car, but my water car.
So that being said, let's go to Brian's, because I think Brian, while I made good choices and you made good choices,
I made a questionable choice and a good choice.
You made fantastic choices.
Well, you made the best choice and a questionable choice.
You made the best choice and a hilarious choice.
True.
So,
We'll
here
go
we are.
If you're gonna have a car in the water, I give you the Porsche 928S.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be the U-boat commander.
For those that don't get the joke, this car ends. It's sitting on a dock right now, and it ends up.
The next scene is the dock breaking and that car ending up sinking in the water.
Right.
And when he takes it to the shop to have the thing refurbished before his dad gets back from vacation, the owner of the shop comes out and says, "So, who's the U-boat commander?"
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have a car in the water, that's it.
Yep.
But for storm car, I
And
give you
that-
the American,
perfect,
the American General Deuce and a half.
which is the answer because
It's the right answer.
Yeah, that's the right choice. It's like you were saying. It's
While you're drowning in your Hummer,
You're high and dry in that.
my head's still above water.
but it's a multi-fuel car. Vehicle.
Multi-fuel. It's multi-fuel. Those were never done as a civilian version. All the ones you see at civilians now are all decommissioned military units. 6x6. There's growing aftermarket support for those things. To
Yep.
do all kinds of crazy shit to it. They do make just a 4-wheel or stubby,
Yeah.
single axle back version
I
of that
mean,
truck.
you'll only be doing 40 miles per hour, but you'll
be
can
going-
literally go anywhere.
You'll be
You're
with
doing
them.
40 miles an hour
Anywhere.
over the tree.
Yeah.
You'll be going 40 miles an hour through all the crap that was happening in Crystal River and Old
Yeah.
Homosassa this
Oh, yeah.
past week.
And that's the thing. I've seen those as recovery vehicles at mud bogs,
Yeah.
where you have these giant lifted trucks that have monster truck engines and all that stuff in there, and the thing pulling them out is
Is
that.
Right. He doesn't even winch you out. He just
No.
attaches a
Attaches
rope
and pulls you.
drives you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Those
He
things-
doesn't snatch you. He doesn't have to get a run at it.
Because-
he just puts it in 6 low and just goes.
We're out.
Going.
And you're out.
But that's
You're
the
welcome.
great thing. Like, it's an actual, the drive system on that. It's full locking differentials.
And it is
everything locks.
6-wheel drive.
Yeah,
It is
but everything locks too.
Yeah.
So you're not like, hey, one tire's spinning. What? No.
No, you
All
have
fucking tires
3
move.
axles locked together
yes.
That
and
will
6
pull you.
tires just spinning in unison.
Yep.
And that thing weighs a lot.
Yeah. That's the one that you knock over trees. That's the one you pull over houses and buildings. That's the
Right.
one you pull cars out of water. You basically string by your neighbor's flooded house and have them jump off the roof into the back, and you go to
that's
drive
that's
around.
one you literally go. You put it in first gear and you put it in low, and you just let the clutch out.
And
You
let it
walk
ride.
away. It might take a week for it to get to the end of the road, but it's going through everything. Nothing's stopping it.
Right,
exactly.
A week later, you can walk up to it after it's gone through your neighbor's house, gone through the woods next door, gone through everything, gone through the swimming pool in the backyard, and come out the other side. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's time to shut it off.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
So yeah,
the
I mean, if
answer.
you're gonna have a vehicle in a storm like a hurricane, like especially in northern part of Florida that we dodged, we got real lucky here.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that is the ultimate answer.
That is the correct answer. We
Yeah.
had good answers.
That's
They
correct
were wrong,
answer.
but they were good.
That's
That
that's
is
correct
the
answer.
ultimate storm vehicle.
Yep.
Because
Storm, amphibious, everything vehicle.
right. Well, that's an end of the world vehicle.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
basically the Miata of everything
It's
else.
always the answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine having races of
Yep, the
those.
M325
Hey,
Plate 2
seriously.
is always the answer.
And the
Imagine-
amazing thing is you can actually buy those from government auctions for fairly cheap.
Yeah, there's
Even
lots of them.
even private sellers, you can get them for less than $6,000.
Right. Hell, there's that guy just outside of Nellen out on 41. He's got like half a dozen of them just stacked up in his yard.
Yeah.
And literally, less than $6,000, you can buy them. I'm dead serious. Less than
I might
$6,000.
need one.
Don't everybody needs one.
I mean,
My only problem is try to watch my crippled ass try to figure out a way to get up into the damn thing.
what I mean by I need one is I would daily drive it.
Why not?
Yeah, it will take you a long time to get back and forth to work, Chris.
That's okay.
I don't
Why
know.
were you late? My vehicle only goes 40 miles an hour. What do you want? But, traffic becomes a thing of the past because, well, get out of my... I dare you to cut me off.
Imagine
Yes.
getting into an accident with that.
No. I dare you to road rage against me.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
I will
ran over your
drive
car.
over you.
Yeah, go ahead, brake check me. I dare you.
And
I don't have brakes.
I have to say, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos and TikToks and all that of people that actually own those. They are cheap to run. Some parts can be hard to find and that, but a lot of it you can find. A lot of the axles and all that are used off of or sames that are used in dump trucks and stuff like that. So
Yeah, they're
parts are-
Rockwells.
Yep.
Parts are findable, but apparently the tires, you would think they would be really expensive. Those tires are only $200 a piece.
Really?
Yep.
I mean,
Really?
I'm dead serious because that was one I was watching a TikTok of one and someone's like, oh well, these tires have to be $2,000 a piece. He's like, no, they're $200 a piece.
because here's my thought: you buy that, you buy a cheap camper, you weld that camper to the bed, you've got the ultimate RV.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real RV right
Yes,
there.
for real. But yeah, so like I said.
Overlanding build.
But yeah, when Mike first said car for the water, literally the risky business Porsche, first thing that popped in my head.
I was trying to think of any other movie cars that ended up in the water that would be good. The only other one I could think of, I was going to say,
Lotus.
The Lotus Esprit.
the Lotus Esprit from 007.
The 69 Camaro from the Gorilla Stilo video.
Yeah. Has there been any... The Mitsubishi from Cannonball 3?
The Starion, yes, that turned into the sub.
Yes.
Or
Driven by Jackie Chan.
the
Or co-piloted by Jackie Chan, wasn't it?
the
Or the other kind of the Cannonball Takeoff movie, the one that had the Lamborghini skipping across the lake.
Yeah.
well, but also the Lotus Elan, the second gen one, the front wheel drive one that someone turned in. The company was turning them into boats
Yes.
and that. Shit, I forgot the name of the company, but you know what I'm talking about. Those two. But then also the AMPA cars. I have to say those
Yeah,
the
like I said,
AMPA cars.
But like the Ampa car was it was too easy. What's he got there?
Tube sock from Dirt Every Day. We put in there when we were talking about something. Is that the
I think so.
bus you were talking about?
What bus? I forgot
Tube
what I was
sock
talking
from
about.
Dirt
Tube sock. I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, I have to look that up.
But yeah, no, I also want to talk about the AMPA car because the AMPA car is a wonderful vehicle. I mean, it sucks as a car, it sucks as a boat, but still,
It's a car that boats.
It does do both.
But it actually does it. There is actually a club here in Florida, the AMPA car club, and they are actually, if you get one, you can get them cheap. They're not an expensive classic car vessel. They're not an expensive classic vessel. But they aren't hard to work on.
Dirt Everyday Tube Sock was a Jeep of some sort.
But they're not hard to work on or anything like that.
Yeah, they're from the 50s.
Yeah, but I think they're based off of what? I think they have a Nash engine or something like that.
Yeah, I think they were based off of a Nash of some sort.
Yeah, weren't they Brian? Weren't they based off?
I think so.
Metropolitan.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But still, they are reliable. And they are actually really cool. If you ever get to see one in person, they are
They're small.
really cool. They're small, but
They're his size.
the engineering that goes into them,
I've seen one in person before. They're cool.
Awesome. They really are.
The little propeller sticking out the back bumper.
I mean, you're only going 8 knots or something
like that.
You're
not going
max
fast.
speed.
Yeah, you're not
but
going
still,
fast.
yeah,
but
you're not going out into the ocean, but it's good for local rivers and all that stuff.
And dear God, if the bilge pump fails.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, if you're driving and your engine stalls and you run on a battery power, you're sinking.
Yeah.
Because they're not
Right next
actually
to the hover van. Right next to the hover van.
So they're not actually watertight.
They're water resistant.
They're water resistant. That's exactly it.
They're water resistant. But yes. So yeah, like I said, my choices for those was obviously Hummer was kind of a thing that caught the mind. I'm like, nah, too common, too easy.
Yeah. As soon as we started talking about floodwater, that was the first thing that popped into my head was a Hummer. That's the perfect wading across water car.
I really almost picked a Hilux for both of them and just be like, I mean, come on.
I almost just said the Crown Vic because
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's got
Crown Vic,
a
the answer
little
to
bit
everything.
too much electronics in it.
Nah.
for that.
You don't need all those.
But it was just the fact that Hilux literally went through the sea.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Went
not,
through the
not
sea.
went through the sea, went out to sea.
The sea
The
back.
sea went through it.
Yes.
And literally a screwdriver, like just a screwdriver, and I think they used a hammer at that
They
point.
had
too.
And
a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, a hammer, and
I think a
WD-40.
But I
And
also
though
think
that-
a crescent wrench. It was
And
a
though that
crescent wrench.
was a diesel.
Yes.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
But it was one of those that literally they got to fucking start after being underwater for how many hours?
Right.
And it started and drove off.
So, speaking of that, like, to explain to people that don't know how impressive that is, I actually dealt with this today. If you own a car and you get your car flooded, okay?
Fresh water is totally different from salt water.
It doesn't matter. No, that doesn't matter, though. As far as the insurance company
Oh,
is
yeah,
concerned, the gauge that they use is the bottom of the center console.
Mm-hmm.
If water touched the bottom of the center console,
Done.
your car is totaled.
Mm-hmm.
They will not fix it. They will not attempt to fix it. They're just done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Your car is now scrap metal. Doesn't matter how much that car is worth. If it touched the side of the center console, we're done.
What happens if your car doesn't have a center console?
They use that as a gauge,
Oh, okay.
though, like the hump, the
Okay.
center console, or the bottom of the dash. If it's like a truck,
Mm-hmm.
if it touches the bottom of the dash,
Done.
we're all done.
Okay.
Like, we're not going to try
And
to
if
fix
it's-
it. We're not
and
going to
if it's,
diagnose it. It's scrap.
And if it's a McLaren P1 that floated down the road and ended up on top of a toilet bowl,
Right.
done.
That was impressive, though.
Yes, it was.
That was impressive.
Yeah, what he's doing with that car now, he's basically building his own like P1 Evo is what he's ended up building. It's gonna be an impressive project.
That's Tavares, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he already did the 675 LT and completely changed that thing and turned it into, he blew up the engine in it, but still, he turned it into something amazing.
Right. But yeah, like, for that Toyota truck to have not only been all the way above the roof with salt water, but
It was rolling in the surf.
it literally got knocked off of its moorings and ended up 20 feet away in the beach, upside down.
Buried in the sand.
Buried in the
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
And they pulled it out, they flipped it over, they cleared the sand out of the engine bay. They
Oh,
took
yeah.
the plugs, they took the heat,
The glow plug.
glow plugs out,
Turned it over.
turned it
just
over to blow the salt water out of it, put the glow plugs back in, sprayed some ether in it, and it fired right up.
Speaking of salt water, apparently it did not get washed off into the surf, but some dipshit out in California on Pismo decided to drive his C8 Corvette out on the sand and bury the ass into the subframe.
Did you see? Apparently, someone on Daytona Beach, some YouTuber brought his Huracan onto Daytona Beach and buried it, fucking all the way up to the bottom of the back bumper and that.
This
Did
C8
you guys
this
see-
C8 was buried so hard it was sitting flat on the rear subframe, and the rear tires were dug in so deep the suspension was at full droop.
Oh, wow. Did you guys see the Ferrari from Whistling Diesel?
Oh yeah, he fucking lit that thing on
I-
fire.
I didn't light it on fire, it caught fire.
well,
I can't
I can't
watch that channel.
I don't watch the channel, it popped up on my TikTok feed. So he was driving it through a cornfield,
Well, yeah.
and the heat of the exhaust
And it
ignited all
ingested all the shit into the
Yeah.
intakes and scoops and
it
Yeah.
caught fire and burned down, and it burned down their follow vehicle too. Because they stopped because it was on fire, and they pulled the van up next to it, and were trying to put the fire out, and then the van caught fire too.
Yeah. you're
They
right.
did the
I can't.
they
I can't
quoted
with him.
from The Hangover. We fucked up. We fucked up bad.
Yeah, no, I can't with him.
yeah,
I don't like him either, but it was an
Like,
interesting
yes,
video.
I understand you have money, but goddamn, like, stop.
Yeah, I can't.
What I didn't like was when he bought the Ford, the perfectly good old F100,
And ran it straight
and just
into a tree.
destroyed it. You're just doing that for the shock value now.
Buying that Hilux and
Yep.
destroying it. Buying a
The skylines and
Skyline,
destroying them.
destroying them. Buying a Ferrari and destroying it. It's he buys something and destroys it.
Yep.
Like, okay, like I understand, like, no.
can't with that guy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him either.
Like I said, I mean, even
But it's car news, so.
like I said, even the cars that I don't like, I don't really want to destroy them.
Right.
Except for some of the stance cars. Those can be destroyed.
I mean, I
Squatted
did like
trucks.
what he did with the squatted truck. Like,
Yeah,
that,
I'll give him that
that
one.
deserved it. But
I'll give him that one. Those things are an absolute danger on the road.
So, bring a trailer, bat trailer, cars and bids.
Cars and bids.
All right.
Yeah, it's almost kind of weird having just the two of you guys vote on this one, but
The bat car is right.
or the auction car.
The auction car, yeah.
Oh, turbo coupe.
So,
Oh, hi.
I love it.
So
So
I
what
love
I-
those wheels. Those are my favorite wheels. I really want to put those on the Fox body.
they'll fit.
I know.
They're-
I know.
Well, that is a Fox body.
It's the thinking man's Mustang.
So what I have here is a 1988 Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe 5-speed manual.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Shows 62,000 miles. And the 5-speed coupe. This is a color change car.
Mhm.
The car was originally light sandalwood metallic. It's been repainted into that lovely shade of red.
Oh, that like
The jams-
sandalwood though. That's
The jams have not been painted, like underside of the engine bay, the underside of the trunk, all that is not painted.
I know, but that sandalwood. That was a color.
That was a classy color. Private party.
Ooh, original radio.
Oh yeah, it's like all the premium sound goodies. Like it's got the equalizer
Yep,
and
yeah,
got all
You
that
can
shit.
see the
in it.
jams not
It's
painted.
got all that
I
shit.
know, but that color was so good. I don't understand why they painted it. I mean, I like that dark red color, but
So anyway, it's got all this. It does self-adjusting suspension system. It has the Ford keyless entry pad.
See, but that tan color is so good.
The 5 buttons with 10 numbers. It makes you think you're tapping 10 buttons, but you're really not.
But see, I also gotta admit that the color change with keeping that other stuff, that tan color, it actually works because that color over tan works really well.
It does work.
So like that actually, it's almost like the interior type deal. Like
it's not paint. It's actually a wrap. So it can be
oh,
taken off.
okay,
Even
good.
better.
Even better, even
Um,
better.
It says LED headlights and fog lights, which means they just put LED bulbs into halogen,
No.
halogen reflectors, which means
Those
they're
have
not,
Marshalls though.
which means it's not going to work worth a fuck.
But those have Marshalls.
Yeah.
How
well,
did they
apparently
get H2s into? Or they
Yeah.
fucked them.
Yeah.
That was the most expensive thing on that car.
You should have bought those that came up on Marketplace a while back, because that was cheap. What was that, 130 bucks?
$130 and I should have fucking bought them.
You know what? That's almost as
I didn't have the money.
that's almost as bad as me not getting the
I
Skyline.
didn't have the fucking money. Okay, if I had the money, trust me, I would have.
Says it had it suffered an accident in October 1988 that resulted in minor damage to the front. Rock
That's
chips
the
on
year
the
that
front.
it was.
Yeah, rock.
See, those are
And
those
again-
are Marshalls though.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm just going to go along with Ed Bully on this one. The farther a car gets away from the incident on the title,
The less it
No,
matters.
less
yes,
it
it
matters. So yeah, that was probably a parking lot ding,
Yeah.
or parking lot strike or something like that.
God damn, it looks. So
Obviously,
good.
it's got rock chips here and there. It's got curb rash on the wheels. It's got a little bit of wear in the seats.
It
It's
doesn't
got the
matter.
server and all that. So it's got a new muffler. It's had the AC retrofitted to 134A. It's had fluids flushed and changed. Timing cover gasket, timing belt, serpentine belt, front crankshaft, camshaft, radiator hoses.
good.
Basically hoses, clamps,
Yeah,
spark
yeah.
plugs, PCB. Like it's gone through and had
Yeah.
all that kind of crap. Distributor shaft seal, which is an often overlooked kind of thing.
Yep. And it's clean underneath too.
It even has new wiper blades.
It's clean underneath. Like there's no.
Oil pan gasket
I was
resealed.
gonna say it looks like there's
Engine
no.
decarbonization and induction cleaning performed. 4-wheel alignment. And it's got some Michelin tires on it. And the door strikers have been replaced.
That's my next thing I gotta do, especially on the passenger side. That's why the door ain't shutting properly. They dead?
Must be, they just went quiet. Not today, fuckers!
8,000.
See, this is a hard one. Where is it at?
Houston, Texas.
I love that it has the exact same dome light assembly as my truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. That's
Every
what they
Ford
changed
from the 80s had that same
Nope.
dome light assembly. Almost everyone
it.
did.
Mine had a map light.
Mine has the map lights too, but it's got that exact same.
No. Mine has the map light.
Yeah.
The swing down map light.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I love cues on the sirens. Fuck. You said 8?
Yep.
That's a really.
You're like,
good-
I was gonna say 8.
Well, I mean that's a good price, but
Got today, fuckers.
shit. Goddamn, this one's really hard. Like,
It's clean, but it's not perfect.
yeah,
That's why I thought 8.
but
Yeah, with that color interior, I would pull the wrap off and go back to the sandalwood.
Yep.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it looks good with that color though. I'm gonna go 65.
7,400.
You win. I was close though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was closest, but he went.
I really was about to say 7, but I wasn't sure. That's a good price though. That's a very
I am curious.
very nice
I am
car.
curious if the adjustable shocks still work.
Yeah. But that is a very nice car. That
Probably
is very,
not.
very nice.
At this age.
I mean, I wonder if the actuators work, because you can take those conies and you can have them rebuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those are very similar to the conies that were in the SVO.
Yeah.
Those can be rebuilt. They just had, instead of having a manual actuator on top, they had
It
an
was an
electric.
automatic, yeah.
Yep.
And they actually did work back in the
They
day.
did.
It's- back
Yep,
in the-
they really
back
did.
then, you changed the suspension to sport, and it firmed up the shocks. And like I said, the same shocks as the SVO,
Mhm.
just instead of a key, there was a motor on them.
No, that was a very, very nice
And,
car.
a good
and
pick.
again, unlike the regular Thunderbirds, that one had disc brakes on the back.
Yep.
So
Good
that one
pick.
basically had the same brakes and everything as a Lincoln Mark 7.
Those were great cars too.
Oh, I fucking love
That's the thinking man's Mustang. That was the Mustang for the guy that needed a little more refinement in his drive.
Seriously, I would love to find a turbo coupe. I've looked at them. They do hold their value. They are.
Yep.
They are up
Nice
there.
ones. Nice
And-
ones.
But even finding a 5-liter one, like I've looked into trying to, because I really like that body style. That
too.
is a
yeah, like I said, I had one
amazing
with I had
body
one with a
style.
3.8, and like I said, it's a Fox body, and that was actually kind of cool because I ended up throwing.
Oh yeah,
I
all
ended
your
up throwing.
parts.
Like I said, I ended up throwing front and rear anti-roll bars from an '86 Mustang GT under my '87.
Yeah.
V6 Thunderbird.
They fit, and that's the great
Like,
thing
not-
about them. But they look really, really fucking good. Really good.
They didn't just fit; it was absolute bolted.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
the whole
just-
entire
They
thing.
bolt right in. It's the same chassis.
It's the exact same chassis.
It's the same chassis, just a little longer.
Yeah, but it was like I said, and like I said, that immediately that totally changed. That and some different wheels and tires
Yeah.
totally changed the way the
Oh,
car
yeah.
felt.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
But
no.
I mean, yeah, like, but it was also '80s Ford interior, vinyl, plastic, unnecessarily complicated in some areas.
Yeah, but
Mike
it's
from Old
better.
School had said 9,500, by the way.
It's
Yeah.
better. It's
You're
better than
optimistic
some.
there.
Better than some new car interiors. Though.
You're not wrong.
Like, I know my car has some hard plastics in the areas, but besides that, the door cards are vinyl.
Yeah.
They're like, it's not all hard plastic. My center console, yeah, the one part might be hard plastic, but the top's not. Like,
Yeah.
it's not all. Everything isn't a hard plastic or
No,
that
no,
trying
those
to be
were-
extra
those were-
soft.
Those were comfortable cars. They were very. That generation Thunderbird was a Fox body.
Yeah.
It was a longer wheelbase Fox body. The rear track width was a little bit wider, but it was a comfortable car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It could be sporty, but also you were not being fatigued if you were driving it for 4 or 5
No.
hours.
I
on
don't
a
know.
highway.
Mine didn't have like the sport interior like a turbo coupe. Mine had
Yeah.
basically the two Barca loungers
Yep.
with the
Yep.
the buttons in the middle in the flip down console. But it was.
And those seats were comfy.
That was one thing about it. I mean,
Comfy.
if you just wanted to gobble up a lot of miles and do so and be comfortable and not be exhausted when you got out of the car, that's the car to do it
Well,
in.
even the '86, even with the sport seats in those, god damn, those seats are so comfy. That's the one car, and Sabrina will tell you, she wants to go to sleep. We can be backing out of the fucking driveway, and she's falling asleep in the passenger seat. Like, those seats are comfy.
The SVO seats are even better.
I
Even
know.
Dad Truck
Oh yeah, oh god, it's
Dad Truck's bench seat is very comfortable for a bench seat.
It is so comfortable.
It's soft. It absorbs, all of the road bumps.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can just lean back in it and just relax into
Your
that
back
seat.
don't hurt. Your butt, your
That
legs
is-
don't go numb.
That is a thing. It's like modern cars now are all they're dampened too stiffly. They're sprung too stiff. Some of it has to do with the shit they have to do for safety and all of the stability control and all that kind of stuff. They kind of have to have the suspension do that.
Yep.
But even when you get inside, the seats are much harder.
Mm-hmm.
The seats are just stiff. You don't sit in the seat. You more sit on the seat. It's
Well,
just,
see, that's
only
why I do like
cars-
the ST seats, like the fact you sit in them and that.
yeah.
But,
Compared to SN95 Mustangs, those seats were the ones that you never felt you were sitting in that seat. You just felt like you were sitting on top of that seat.
But I do have to say the only thing that sucks is after 2-3 hours, it does start to hurt the back.
Well, those seats are really narrow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could actually bolt us out of the Mustang,
they're perfect for me.
if you could put the Mustang Recaros on those rails and get them in the car, it'd be a much better choice.
Yeah. No, they're perfect for me, but no, it's just one of those that after.
The only modern car I have sat in the past 10 years that had a comfortable seat was a Lincoln.
Yeah.
A Lincoln Continental with the massaging seat option. That's a car you could just drive all day. But most cars
even new
these days,
Cadillacs, like Sabrina's parents' Cadillac.
hard.
Love the interior, but there's no bolstering. Which I'm not saying that it has to have bolstering, but it's one of those you sit on. Yeah, it's a comfortable seat, but it's not. It's kind of like sitting on a stool. You're on it. Yeah, you don't sink into it. You don't sink into it. There's support in that, but it's not. I'm in a Cadillac. I want to sit and like the couch.
I
want
want to melt into that.
I want to
bad
melt
boy.
into it.
Yeah.
I want to have form my own bolstering because I've sunk into the seat.
Dan
I'm
had to stay
around it.
home tonight. He wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, he said he was a little bit of a fever and some chills and whatnot, and so there's been a couple people I've heard have had similar similar stuff over the past few days.
But it's just one of those no, it doesn't feel like a Cadillac. It feels like a GM product that has
Cadillac badges on it.
yeah.
Cimarron.
And Sabrina loves the car, and I'm
Cimarron
just
by Cadillac.
Yes, Cimarron by Cadillac.
It's one of those. Yes, it's a nice SUV. I do like it, but both my grandparents had nothing but Cadillacs.
Mm-hmm.
The old, my one grandpa had an '88 Cadillac DeVille. That thing was a couch on wheels. The other one had a '93 Seville and then a '98 Seville. Also, it was a couch on wheels.
If I'm buying a personal luxury vehicle, I
want it to be personal luxury
the
vehicle.
epitome of personal luxury.
Exactly.
I want a brougham top and
Yeah.
pillow stuffed seats
Exactly.
and suspension that absorbs
and that's the-
everything.
and
Well,
that's-
speaking of that, back in the day, my dad had an '85 Regal, not a GS, not a fancy. It was just a Regal.
Yeah.
So it was a G body.
But
then
it
when,
still
but,
had
but then
the
when you
pillow
open up the door,
seats.
it was pillow top seats and the whole 9
Yeah.
yards, and you just sat in that bitch was like,
Ugh.
and you drove along, and it just kind of floated over everything. It was kind of,
Yeah. It was. You didn't have suspension. You were just you hit a bump, and a mile down the road, you were still
You
rocking.
have no headlight on that bike.
You were still rocking, but you know what?
It was a sway. It
It
wasn't
was a
rock.
sway.
yeah, it was.
It was
but
literally like taking a boat out.
that
into
car,
the-
but that,
into
like I
the
said, but
water.
that was another car. It's like if you just wanted to get in something, gobble up a lot of miles, and be perfectly fine when you got out of it. That was the one that did it. It just gobbled up the miles, just floated along, and you just.
But and see, that's the great thing that the Panther body did too.
Yep.
Even with the Crown Vics, even when you get into the P71s and that, even though they're a bit stiffer in that, they are comfortable cars. You can do hours on end in and not feel fatigued. Have you have support, but you're squishy. You're just I'm not stiff. All that you're able. That makes it to where you can do hours on end in vehicles.
So,
But yeah,
Man, I miss
the
those.
Lincoln Town Car is the ultimate luxury
yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's the one you just kind of just zipping on a cloud and just floating along, and when you get out of it, you feel like, I just woke from my
We're
nap.
going to
Right.
Bob Evans. We're
When
going
you
to
get
Bob
to
Evans.
Bob Evans, you feel
Yeah.
great. Alrighty, guys, it's about time to wrap up.
Yep.
I think
Yeah, what time we got here?
9:20.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while.
Hey,
Did
we
they
had
go
some
ahead
really
and-
good stuff to talk about. Our even though we tangent for a little bit, our tangents were really good tangents. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, not
So,
bad. Not bad for only 2 3/4 of us.
Yeah.
Right? Missing a beard, but we got through it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
it wasn't just nonsense we were spewing. We actually went into car news and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, look at us.
Alright, guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Hopefully with all 3 3/4 of us.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you guys again. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.